Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Joan Vassos of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 has a lot of wonderful men to pick from, but she need to give Chalk Chapel her last rose. Since Joan is almost royalty in Bachelor Nation, many want her to find her true love. She made her television debut during the Golden Bachelor Season 1, so she's no stranger to searching for love on national television. She was one of the 22 senior women without children who dated Jerry Turner, 72. Joan and Jerry had a terrific one-on-one date, however Joan had to leave the season early to take care of a family situation, despite their connection. Even though Joan's tenure on the Golden Bachelor Season 1 was brief, her adventure in Bachelor Nation continued. After making a big impression, the Maryland private school administrator was revealed as the first female star in the spin-off series, Bachelor. The first season of The Golden Bachelorette was highly anticipated following the explosive success of The Golden Bachelor. The new season of The Bachelor recently debuted, and Joan welcomed 24 outstanding Golden Bachelor guys after months of anticipation. Though many of the men, including 58-year-old Mark Anderson and 62-year-old Keith Gordon, are excellent catches, Chalk is more appropriate for Joan. Continue reading for 10 compelling arguments on why Joan ought to give 60-year-old Chalk her heart and her last rose. It was evident that Chalk was there for the right reasons from the moment he walked into the Bachelor mansion on the first night of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. Chalk was focused on getting to know Joan, but some of the other competitors appeared more interested in enjoying the opulent surroundings and the enticing swimming pool. Joan felt a stronger connection with Chalk than she did with the other men during their initial one-on-one talk. Chalk won Joan's first solo date even though he didn't win her first impression rose. After embarking on a romantic Disneyland excursion, the two shared a passionate kiss beneath the fireworks show at the end of the night after enjoying a few rides and meeting Minnie and Mickey Mouse. Throughout their entire date, Chalk made an effort to get to know Joan more, and they had a great connection. There are many similarities between Joan and Chalk, one of which being that they both left Bachelor Nation shows due to urgent family matters. Joan departed Season 1 of The Golden Bachelor because her daughter was in need of her mother after giving birth. Chalk left Season 1 of The Golden Bachelorette after his mother passed away from cancer after a protracted battle. Chalk returned to continue dating Joan, even though Joan never made it back to Jerry's season and was ultimately cast as the first female lead in the spin-off The Bachelor. Joan and Chalk share a deep affection for their families, which is one of the many reasons that Joan should offer Chalk her last rose. Similar values are vital. Like Joan, Chalk is committed to maintaining his physical health and well-being. Being physically active is a vital component of maintaining good health, which gets more difficult as people age. Chalk appears to value physical fitness and enjoys staying active based on his Instagram account. Chalk just shared an Instagram picture of himself working exercise. Chalk is seen in the picture performing a push-up as a friend places a foot on his back, seemingly to hold him down. "My good friend Pat, always pushing me," is what his caption says. Chalk hasn't mentioned that he's been trying to lose weight, but it's clear that he's determined to maintain his physical fitness. Living a long and healthy life is generally associated with this. Given that Chalk is robust, active, and likely to live a long life, Joan ought to give him her rose. Before becoming a part of the first season of The Golden Bachelor, Joan was an isolated widower leading a rather obscure life. Before he passed away in 2021 from pancreatic cancer, Joan was married for 32 years to company owner Joan Vassos. Even though her late husband had been dead for more than 3 years, Joan was still very much in shock over his passing. Chalk lost his fiancée, Catherine Elizabeth White Gorey, to cancer in 2022, in addition to losing his mother recently. Before she died, the two were engaged for 9 years, leaving behind 2 children. Chalk told Joan on their one-on-one date on Season 1 of The Golden Bachelorette that losing his fiancée was the most tragic loss of his life. Joan did not return to The Golden Bachelor after Season 1. She went because her daughter needed her, but she could have returned if she had liked Jerry sufficiently. Joan would have taken care of her kid and returned if she had believed Jerry was the one. Her lack of return spoke volumes about her desire in Jerry. However, Chalk managed to return after leaving to bury his mother and resume his quest with Joan on the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. Chalk was devastated to bury his mother, but he loved Joan so much that he returned as soon as he could to be with her. The fact that the men have gotten along just as well with one another as they have with Joan is among the nicest aspects of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. While the majority of the casts of the Bachelor franchise shows get along relatively well when filming, there are always a few contestants that don't get along with one another. On Season 28 of The Bachelor, there was a little argument between several of Joey Graziadei's competitors and 29-year-old Maria Gorgas, whom Joey dismissed following hometown dates. Chalk's social abilities are evident in his ability to get along with the other men, even if he is one of Joan's favorites. Joan could be sure that if she gave him her last rose, they would always be a well-liked pair and receive plenty of invites to dinner parties. Since Joan frequently characterizes her late husband as a men's guy, it should come as no surprise that she finds Chalk attractive. When someone reaches Chalk's age, they have probably had their fair share of heartbreak and have lived a long life. Chalk's romantic past is convoluted and replete with setbacks. Before their 12-year marriage to Heather Chappell ended in divorce, Chalk and Chappell had 2 children together. Although it is regrettable that Chalk had to go through a divorce, it shows a lot about him that he is still amicable with his former spouse. Even if their relationship ends at some point in the future, Joan may be certain that Chalk will treat her with respect if he earns her last rose. It's comforting to know that Chalk won't let a new relationship end worse than it needs to be, even though no one liked thinking about it. During her first season on The Golden Bachelorette, Joan frequently discussed her late husband, John. She always felt protected and at ease with John. Her hubby always seemed to see her and understand her. It makes sense that Joan would seek for a mate who shared her sentiments. It's likely that she finds Chalk so endearing because he reminds her of her husband, and that's a strong bond. Even though Joan will never be able to replace her late spouse, she can find someone who gives her the same sense of security and visibility that John did. Although Joan is a capable and independent woman who can take care of herself, she also needs a companion with whom she feels at ease. Joan was informed by Chalk that his top priority in life was raising his 2 kids to be excellent fathers. He has kept a cordial connection with his ex-wife in large part because of his affection for his kids. Images of Chalk's kids and his family in general abound on his Instagram feed. It seems that he is a devoted family man, which Joan could definitely get behind. A picture of Chalk's late mother, smiling with his 2 kids when they were healthier, was just uploaded online. Joan expressed worries about her adult children's reaction to her being on The Golden Bachelorette when she accepted the role. She disclosed that she had made a vow to her kids that she wouldn't go around hitting on other men for the entire season. Joan has kissed comparatively less contestants than the majority of Bachelor leads. Joan's feelings about dogs are unknown, but Chalk and Super Tubbs, his black lab, have a cute bond. Chalk shared a picture of himself, his 2 kids, and their dog on Instagram in August. Chalk, his kids, and his dog are shown in the picture posing outside in front of a little pond. "Family pictures with my favorite child, and my daughter and son," says Chalk in a humorous caption. In exchange for getting Chalk, Joan will also obtain Super Tubbs if she offers Chalk her last rose. There are still a lot of wonderful men for Joan to pick from in The Golden Bachelor Season 1, but it's obvious that Chalk is the one for her.